Welcome to special call meeting, Newcastle County Council. Joining us today, Senator Margaret Rose Henry. City Council President Theo Gregory. Recorder of Deeds Mike Kozakowski. And a Register of Wills Ciro Poppity. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. We'll now have the roll call.
Mr. Bell?
Here.
Mr. Bullock?
Here.
Mr. Cardiac? Here. Ms. Dillon? Mr. Hollins?
Here.
Mr. Patrick?
Here.
Mr. Powers?
Here.
Mr. Betta? Mr. Sheldon?
Here.
Mr. Smiley?
Here.
Mr. Street?
Here.
Mr. Tackett?
Here.
Mr. Minor?
Here.
Mr. President, the roll call reveals 11 present, 2 absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Going to ask President Pro Tem Penrose Hollins, Co-Chair of our Finance Committee, George Smiley, if you would escort the County Executive into the Council chambers, please. See, our sheriff has come in, Trini Navarro.
Right on time.
Let us receive our County Executive, Thomas Gordon.
On me? Thank you. Good evening. And before we start tonight, we'll take a moment of observance, a moment of silence for the victims of the bombing today in Brussels, as well as the families affected by this tragedy, and show our thoughts and prayers are with them. Thank you very much. Distinguished members of council, elected officials, and citizens of Newcastle County. Tonight, I'm honored and privileged to present the 12th State of the County Address. I stand before you tonight as I did my first year of my administration, as I have every year of my 3 terms as county executive, to share the same bottom line and good news once again. There will be no tax increase for the coming fiscal year. Thank you all. Before we get into the details about fiscal year 2017, we would like to commend our senior executive team. We'd like to thank Chief Administrative Officer Tim Elaney. Tim's here somewhere. Deputy CEO Sam Guy. Sam. Chief of Staff Jim McDonald. And I would like to thank them for their dedication and hard work to ensure the government keeps running efficiently for the good of the people of Delaware and Newcastle County. Also with me tonight, my wife Susan. Very hard to get her to come out to these functions after 30, 40 years. Michael and Dan, my son. So We also would like to thank our workforce of employees and managers who make us successful on a daily basis. Everyone has an important role in our organization in making this such a great place for all of us to live. We sometimes get too busy to say thank you as often as we should. So we thank you one and all for the support in serving our residents in ever-improving ways. We also welcome our presidents from unions and thank them for their important service, and I'd like to recognize them if they're here. Michael Zielinski, President of Internal Order Police. Mike, would you stand up? We have John Spence, Local 459. John. Chris Seffler, 1607. Joe Cochran, 3109. Kenny Donald, 3911, I don't believe is here tonight, but Kenny is retiring. We'd like to congratulate him on his upcoming retirement. I had the fortune of serving with Kenny for many years, and he's going to be hard to replace. The budget I present tonight reflects a lot of hard work by our departments. Each one taking responsibility personally and professionally, and with prudent financial approach. I'd like to thank our law department, led by Bernard Peppercock. Bernard will tell you all the cases that he won in Supreme Court and Chancery. He's got a list that's very long. Human Resources led by Christine Dunning. Community Service led by Sophia Hansen, who Jay refers to as a saboteur from a long story. And Financial, Department of Finance led by Mike Coop. Procurement, Tony Gardner. Special Service by John Lee Merritt, who's probably listening to this, but he's off with surgery on his rotor cuff. And of course, the Department of Public Service led by the famous Joe Bryant. I have to try to get through 42 pages. I got it, no comedy. With our talent, leadership, and great teams, we were able to craft this budget financial plan with an operating budget of more than $267 million and a $55 million capital plan. Our collective financial responsibilities kept Newcastle County at the top, AAA grading of all three major Wall Street rating agencies. Holding the line on taxes keeps money in the pocket of our residents, and young couples looking to save for their kids in college, to entrepreneurs eyeing their first startups, to small business owners who are the backbone of our economy and may be the Delaware's growing best and biggest business of tomorrow. We don't have any water. And let's not forget the elders of our countywide, because I'm going to be one soon. Stretching fixed incomes are their concern. They're concerned about outliving their money. Also, it's the right thing to do. Avoiding tax hikes is a great reason to celebrate, but it's important to remember the context of this very conservative budget plan. Our budget is more significant because of the hard times we had to endure across the country, when some governments going under financially troubled problems have folded. Here in our county, we continue to recoup after years of real estate transfer tax that went down to as low as $16 million, and we all suffered through that when it came from a high of $40 million. Now modest growth is forecasted in the general fund, and with a variety of thoughtfulness, we crafted these saving measures. We were able to achieve this balanced plan with an overall budget growth of slightly over 4%. Although what we present tonight is really a tremendous story. It's a story that has to be told with crime going down, quality of life going up, without any tax hike or reduction of service. So we thought we'd explain, where does the money go? Of every county dollar, 64 cents goes to public safety. That's police, 911, emergency medical services, including paramedics, and emergency management. Public safety fund also supports our dedicated volunteer fire companies and pays for the dog controls, which the state has now taken over, which we have to pay for. Our public safety funds are well spent. We first looked at the men and women and our horses of our police department for dramatic and quantifiable improvements in the quality of life in our county. I would like to congratulate, as I often do, Director Bryant, Colonel El Mercedes, our Chief of Police, as well as the officers and civilians involved in the recently announced success of the Target Analytical Policing System, which we know as TAPS, in connections with added expertise in handling property crime. This modern approach tracks and attacks all levels of crime trends as they start in neighborhood hotspots. Statistics shows that TAPS has driven down crime in the county by 16.4% overall in the program's first 3 years. TAPS is supported by a major new asset of cutting-edge technology dedicated since our last budget address. The J. Williams Bell Fusion Center puts our county at the cutting edge of the crisis response management and is named for a real hero. Councilman Bell began his career in public safety with the county in 1968. I think that was before me, Bill. He is Chief Emeritus of Holloway Terrace Fire Company, and now he works for Delaware Bay River and Bay Authority Police. He's also co-chairs our Public Safety Committee. At the opening and dedication, Joe Bryant made a comment that he is a living legend, a longtime friend of Newcastle County Public Safety, and I think we all agree. Bill, thank you. I also would like to thank Recorder Deeds Michael Kizikowski, who led the creation of a technology fund that helped fund the Fusion Center. So, Mike, thank you for everything you did. Now, I'm remiss. I usually have somebody tell me that we have Senator Margaret Rose Henry in the audience. We have our Recorder Deeds, Sierra Poppy, and we have our Sheriff, Trini Navarro. And as I'm looking around, if I see anybody else, As residents face a variety of crises, our Emergency Communication Center, which is led by Chief Jeffrey Miller, handles more than 400,000 calls a year. Our addition of staff has allowed us to cut the time it takes to answer calls by 6%, meaning a national benchmark, and processing most calls within 72 seconds. Newcastle Emergency Medical Services, under Chief Larry Tan Esquire, he loves when I do it, provides life-saving care all over our county. This covers more than 500,000 residents, including 2 units that we have specifically dedicated to the city of Wilmington. Our EMS crews not only are widely credited for saving uncounted lives, but they also maintain the gold standard of accreditation through the Commission of Accreditation of Ambulance Services. And they lead the way in saving lives through the use of Narcan that reverses deadly overdoses of heroin and other narcotics. Speaking about heroin, we should note that our special projects to raise awareness among young people increasing peril of drugs' ability to make them addicted the first time they use it. In our project material, we call that the Heroin Trap. County Council was kind enough to fund that last year and participate in it. We are now reviewing the results, and it knows many forms of outreaches. We've seen many viewers have seen it. Over the lifetime of heroin program, we still go out to venues from fire halls to churches with the dual message of prevention and recovery. The police department in the future is about to unravel another new heroin program, and I won't give it away tonight, Chief. Another potential life-saving improvement is the addition of another piece of cutting-edge technology. I'm proud to say we're the first in the state to offer Smart 911. This is a free service that lets residents create safety profiles with details such as medication that automatically goes to emergency personnel in 911 that can save lives when seconds count. Let me take a sip of water here. Page 16, halfway. When it comes to medical care and health care benefits, we all know costs have continued to rise throughout the state and across the nation. While our risk manager, Sean McDonough, worked with our providers to negotiate cost savings through medical and pharmaceutical bundling, the spending was cut over $732,000 in calendar year 2015. This significant savings has helped to keep the county offering the same level of benefits to our hardworking men and women. Now to talk about land use. George Haggerty in the Department of Land Use, he heads, has worked tirelessly to update the Unified Development Code, adopted a long time ago in 1997. It was a trademark of my first administration. The code fulfilled my promise of updating land use laws that were simply created in 1955. I promised this would be an evolving document. We continue with the revisions to streamline the process and encouraging economic improvement. We are incorporating communities outreach as projects begin. We integrate the land use with transportation as part of a shift in approaching from regulation to service-oriented that provides incentives to revitalize economic growth. For example, the new approach trimmed the entire process to 7 months for insight, creating jobs, supporting a new asset that in the community, and help get the old John Wanamaker's building at Augustine Cutoff back into use. We refocused our code enforcement on making communities better, on resolution, efficiency, and recovering property maintenance. We have also created a proactive effort to improve the quality of life within our neighborhoods. We have broadened our land use department scope to regional planning studies, developed a master plan for the Route 9 corridor to improve access to jobs, healthy food, recreation, community services, and affordable housing. At the same time, the plan promotes redevelopment for mixed uses and income levels for housing, and it promotes road improvements such as truck management. Likewise, our North Claymont area master plan uses existing roads, rail, and waterfront infrastructure while supporting economic redevelopment. In our study of the 1.3 miles of Glasgow area from US 40 to Delaware 896 has a fresh approach, creating a Main Street theme. We are starting to study the improvements to revitalize Concord Pike Route 202 to define and protect the heritage and natural assets of the Brandywine Scenic Valley. At the same time, we have streamlined and have made customer-friendly additions for businesses and homeowners alike. We now provide a courtesy building inspection for homeowners, conduct pre, meet, med, and final project reviews for commercial buildings projects. We routinely analyze projects upon completion, and we have recently initiated a help for small businesses to help their owners navigate projects from start to finish. Streamlining is also key to technology advances in the electronic plan review and permitting process, creating instant sharing of communication with all review agencies. In addition to these bold steps in land use, we have taken bold steps to support new jobs to bolster our future. Much of our progress is directly credited to the hard work of our talented policy and economic development director, Marcus Henry. Where's Marcus at? Marcus? And everybody loves Marcus. The county has led support for the entrepreneurs of the Delaware Board of Trade and the creation of a stock exchange or trading system for small to mid-sized companies. In January, the Delaware Board of Trade officially signed a 15-year lease for about 10,000 acres, for about 10,000 square feet on the 8th floor of the Hercules Plaza office in Midtown Brandywine neighborhood in Wilmington. Now, why that's so viably important, it shows growth coming back, a new business and a new technology that is going to open very soon. In its first year, it's expected to hire 50 people at $136,000 annual salary. Later, it's expected to grow to 125 employees, earning an average of $86,000. We will encourage them to hire locally. The ripple effect in the economy from sandwich shops to office supplies is projected in the millions. The person that's running it brought $450 million to Philadelphia. Millions also is at stake as the dredging goes on the Delaware River, and Philadelphia prepares to snap up all the additional port business of larger ships that will be able to use the waterway. This is why we earmarked $150,000 from the county, Wilmington County Council. We earmarked $150,000 from the county reserve to invest in an environmental study, along with the city of Wilmington, the state of Delaware. It's about expanding the existing port through the 176 acres at the River Edge Industrial Park near Newcastle. Charles Potter is a representative leading that. Margaret Rose Henry's been very helpful in trying to create this. It's essential for the city of Wilmington, Newcastle County. We view this as extremely important for thousands of jobs to be created. These jobs often top over $100,000 a year, and port expansion could provide jobs for generations to come. The existing port already supports 5,000 direct jobs and 15,000 indirect jobs in the city and the county. They come as far as Sussex County to work there. We support both the improvements of the existing port as well as the proposal for River Edge. This optimistic long plan is a sharp contrast to the sudden blow we suffered when Dow and Delaware's best-known businesses announced the worst possible news. Their merger and possible loss of DuPont. Well, DuPont is not your usual company. DuPont has been Delaware's foundation for 2 centuries, over 200 years, since it first produced gunpowder along the Brandywine. For generations, the company has been critical to our state and to our country, changing America, better living through chemistry, including a list of many, many inventions, which includes nylon, and they were involved in the Manhattan Project of World War II. So it's a possible departure, looking like DuPont could close up and leave nothing but clean up behind, sounded a call for all hands on deck. The loss of jobs, estimated to be 17,000 of them, could have a ripple damaging effect into the housing problem and to our city and county. Our economy could have been devastated. And I credit our governor for turning the expected defeat into victory for Delaware and the people, our people and our economy. The quick response of our governor, Jack Markell, our Delaware congressional delegation, the county council here today, and even our Vice President Joe Biden combined to change this to a success story. Not only are we going to keep the specialty products, but we are promised one of the other companies expected to be formed in the merger, becoming the agriculture for the new agriculture, becoming the headquarters for a new agriculture company. And this is a major accomplishment. Now we expect to maintain the experimental station. This is the company's crown jewel progress, and it's been the saving life of this country. So many products were invented there that it's too numerous to mention. But to have that still there and the ability to grow that company from there, we will also keep the prospect of continuing its long history of inventions that have been so vital to the progress, security, and quality of life in Newcastle County and around the world. But nothing stays the same, including global scale businesses. We continue to owe the DuPont Company and the family behind that company for all their contributions to our state for 200 years, and I think we should give them a round of applause. As a county, we must remain committed to encourage and support the growth of what will become our newest business, Dow DuPont's. We have the opportunity to work together with our entrepreneurs, our businessmen, to make something big out of this. But I really like to thank this county council that jumped on it and saw the opportunity to do something great, and they provided not $7.5 million in a gift, but a supportive plan, and I commend you all for that, for the leadership here today. That, I think, is the line in the sand. I think things are going to turn around with all the things that we mentioned here and many more. And it's going to be up to us to make that happen. I'd like to take a moment to talk about more, doing good here, the public aspect of Newcastle County government, now in the coming fiscal years. We're continuing to improve communication, make the county government more open. We're sharing more information with our residents on every level. We've become more user-friendly and growing our interaction on Facebook, Twitter, and our web pages. We're also improving NCCTV, the county public access station. New shows include the Hispanic Hour, and one highlighting our great libraries, produced by the students of the newly organized partnership that we now have with Wilmington College. If you tune in to Comcast Channel 22 or Verizon 29, you will be rewarded by a positive coverage you won't see anywhere else. We have more media improvements in store to come. Our Department of Community Services, led by General Manager Sophia Hansen, has had a notable success, deeply impacting the lives of those in need. After we sign on to support in the challenge to end veterans homelessness, our collaboration with partners helped place more than 150 otherwise homeless vets in permanent houses. I think we all agree that should be a great challenge of ours. Key grants through the department are improving citizens' lives. To help with the purchase of homes and repair in distressed communities, County Council wisely allocated $500 million, $500,000, correct. The State Housing Authority gave another $800 in grants for repairs and home ownership, efforts that will stabilize our challenged neighborhoods. Community service has provided meaningful jobs last summer for 89 economically disadvantaged youth people, and we will hire more this year. County residents of all ages are engaging in our new programs, including computer coding, library services, and hands-on experience at three-dimensional printing. Our parks alone events drew about 75,000 people last year, with 23% increase in the fiscal year. We also have hundreds of activities coming up at our great libraries, parks, and other sites. These are all detailed in the new issue of The Happenings, or a hot magazine you can get on our website or in our libraries or the other facilities as the wonderful Absent Jones Senior Center. When I first ran for county executive, I made a pledge in public that in addition to overhauling the land use, when Glasgow was overrun by development. At a time, developers had a huge commercial plan for Glasgow lots, 300-acre plot that was designed for restaurants and more stores. Residents was furious, and so were we. I promised if elected, we would prevent the development. I promised the county would buy those 300 acres and create a regional park to rival that of Delcastle Recreation Center, and that we could save the farm's historical buildings. And we all kept that promise, thanks to County Council. Before last year's holidays ended, tree lighting became very popular. We welcomed thousands of people for the first public visit to the just renovated farmhouse in Warren. Santa met hundreds of kids at the barn as parents snapped many pictures. We plan to continue the investment in Glasgow Park, Carousel, Rockwood, and other parks. This wise investment as more and more residents look for free family fun close to home. Our parks offer organized, informed sports, hiking, riding trails, playgrounds, bark parks, exhibits, and more are all perfect for staycations. And that's a word, I understand. We are happy to say our parks were chosen to host a regional softball championship in this July. This is the first for Delaware, and it's supposed to be a real economic boom. Our tourism partners already are arranging hotel spaces for thousands of players and supporters expected to come from as far as Maine for this 5-day tournament. We expect our guests will also enjoy our restaurants and do some tax-free shopping while they're here. And I'd like to talk for a minute about a project that is monumental to our future. In 2012, we pledged the county would embark on a world-class initiative to build the library of the future. And we're happy to say that a Route 9 Library and Innovation Center is under construction. It is an incredible, exciting project. It's already starting to lift up the entire region of our county that long went overlooked. And it has a lot of fathers. George Murray, Billy Bell. Jay sends me pictures every day of progress, which is a little bit much. Penrose Hollins, who tore down that new one and we built the Palace Center. We've got across the street from Reverend Bullock's church. And certainly he's overlooking that project. I think it's something that's going to be something we can be very, very proud of. Let me say, too, that the progress you see at this site is just one among the countless testimony to our Department of Special Services, led by John Wayne Merritt, whose crews very ably and nearly invisible handle tasks from snow plowing and making all of our capital projects happen. Not to mention they keep the sewers flowing. Wayne is, as I said, home for an operation, but I'm sure listening to this. After the land use for this project was obtained, the development was done with a significant public input. Our groundbreaking ceremony was a tremendous success. And all the support from foundation businesses and philanthropic groups topped our fundraising goal sector of $500,000 to more than $800,000 committed right now. The budget we propose tonight includes funding to finish the library and our innovation center. We call it an innovation center because it offers extensive laboratory space, which they call makerspace. This is where people gather to share resources, collaboration, network, and building projects. The center will also give students access to state-of-the-art science, technology, engineering, math, or STEM programming. By investing in our talent and our youth, we're investing in growing the county's future. This unique facility, with a huge range of services for all ages, anchors our creative approach to redevelopment of this entire area, in tandem with initiatives of economic development, community programming, housing stability, health and wellness, all supported by the community and civic associations. This is the first project of its scale in the Route 9 corridor between Wilmington and Newcastle County, what was once called the Delaware School District. Continuing investment in construction and operation of this facility will be a game changer. Completion of this facility itself, along with the ongoing programs and continued revitalization efforts, will improve the overall quality of life in this community for generations to come. A community that has been passed over for too long. This will become a destination point for residents all over this county and all over this state, and we hope to apply for the country for a benchmark program. A point of pride and growing economic opportunity with all the planning effort and investment and time we have put in it. The Library and Innovation Center will be an inspiration. It will be a symbol that speaks hope in those who see and use it. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful, that's the bottom line. I'm grateful tonight for the opportunity to bring all this good news, especially our fiscal 2017 budget plan, with a bottom line of free of taxes and sewer fees hikes. This makes the 12th year of my administration, with the help of this county council, which is very, very active. I had to get used to that from last century, that we delivered you a budget free of property taxes and increases this year. I would like to thank members of county council for their teamwork. That is the foundation of all this success. I would like to thank the citizens of Newcastle County for the privilege of serving as your executive for the last 4 years. Thank you all. Good night. May God bless America, state of Delaware, and Newcastle County. Thank you.
Motion, Mr. President, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Ayes have it. Thank you. Thank you for coming.